Hey there guys, I'm SonicGhost and welcome back to some more Let's Play Star Fox 64. Last time, we finished up the easy pathway by going to Venom and confronting Andross, only to find out that Andross was a fake. So there are still more planets for us to go ahead and explore here in the Lilat system. So I took the liberty off screen to go through both Corneria and Meteo, and I took the warp from Meteo to get to the medium pathway. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and explore our first planet here on the medium pathway, Katina.
Katina is battling the enemy. Will you help him out?
Affirmative, General.
Good luck.
Hang on, guys. Help is on the way. Fox, you made it.
Bill! Is that you? I can't believe it!
We can catch up later, Fox.
So Katina introduces a new character to the game, Bill. Bill's first appearance was here in Star Fox 64, but as just mentioned there by him, Bill's an old friend of Fox's, so he's here along with his crew in order to help protect Katina. And unfortunately, his team actually makes this mission a lot harder for you to deal with, because the enemy ships along with the ally ships from a distance look basically the same. So it's really hard to tell who's the good guys and who's the bad guys. One of the easier ways to tell the ships apart is your lock-on shot, as your lock-on shot will only lock on to the enemy targets. But don't feel bad if you shoot down an ally, simply because it's really not that bad if you shoot down an ally plane, as bad as that sounds. The only real bad part about shooting down an ally plane is that you don't get any points for it. So you want to shoot down all of the enemy planes as much as you can for obvious reasons, but if you shoot down an ally, you don't really get punished for it, luckily. So don't feel bad to just spam your lasers in this level as well. Especially coming up here in just a moment. When that mothership comes our way, then there's going to be even more enemy planes coming out to attack us. So at that point, you're probably better off just using your lasers and going crazy. The metal here is kind of hard to get simply because of all the enemies that are blending in with the ally planes. So once the mothership is here, you're better off, instead of using charge shots, just going to town on the enemy fighters. But the mothership has arrived, and now it's hovering over the main building here at Katina, and it's going to release a whole bunch of enemy ships from its hangar. This may look a little familiar to you if you've watched Independence Day, and that's because this whole mission in Star Fox 64 is a reference to the 1996 classic Independence Day. This mothership is very similar to the one in that movie, especially near the end, because when this mothership is hanging around for a while, it's actually building up power to charge a laser and fire it down at the base here at Katina. And that firing sequence is very similar to the one in Independence Day. So this game came out a year after the movie Independence Day, and because of that, the developers of this game just took the liberty to just put a little reference in here to a cult classic movie. And it's interesting to see at this time. It's really odd to see a Japanese studio put in an American-based referenced movie, but it is nice to see. But at this point in the level, you just want to go ahead and shoot down as many enemy planes as you can, and leave those hatches for a while because you want as many enemy fighters coming out in order to get the medal in this stage. Since you're relying on all these enemy planes just flying around and then just shooting them down, you're going to want to leave those hangars open as long as possible to get as many enemies on screen as possible. So just rack up the points, and then once you feel like you have enough, then you can go ahead and destroy those hatches. But I recommend leaving the hatches until the mothership is about ready to fire its laser. You'll know when that will be because then a countdown will start on the screen. So at that point, then you have to rush to finish this level, because you only have about a minute for when that laser is about ready to fire in order to destroy this mothership. But as you see here, this is pretty simple because all you gotta do in order to clear the mission is just destroy the mothership's hatches and then its laser once it finally reveals that piece. If you want to reveal the laser early, you destroy the 4 hatches and then laser will come out ready to fire in a minute. So if you didn't care about the metal, you could just destroy the mothership right now. But we're going to go ahead and take advantage of all these ships flying around and just destroy as many as we can.
bulldog you. The hatches are open.
Hey, he was mine!
Yeah, sorry, Slippy. I need the points. I don't care if that was your enemy or not. I don't really have that much leeway here. This level is one of the harder ones, honestly, to get the medal on, because you don't really have too much time to get as many points as possible before this mothership decides to destroy the planet. So you gotta hurry up and destroy as many of these ships as possible. Hence why I recommend leaving those 4 hatches for as long as possible to get even more fighter jets out here. But we're getting there in the score, because this level only needs about 150 points, so as long as you kill at least 100 enemies before the timer starts, then you should be fine, because then you'll have enough time to destroy the hatches and get points for those, and then also destroying the laser once it finally reveals itself. But as you can see, getting those points can be kind of difficult depending on where these ships are and how many are on the screen. But luckily, each time the hatch is open, there's a boatload more of enemies coming out. I believe it's over 20 enemies coming out if you leave all 4 hatches open, which is a good amount of fighter jets. And then by the time you destroy basically all on the screen, then it opens the hatches and reveals even more enemies coming out. So once you feel like you're basically out of enemies, this mothership says, nah, we gotta send more units out. But at this point, we destroyed a good amount of the hatches, but the core is revealed, so we need to go and destroy that before it fires its laser. So at this point, all we gotta do is shoot down the core, and then we'll have enough points to get the medal. So we're just taking a little bit more time here to get some more points. But now let's go ahead and fly back to the mothership, destroy the latch hatch, and also destroy that core.
Yeehaw! You did it! Take care, Fox.
You too, Bill.
So there you go, we did it. We saved Katina with the help of Bill. But what happens if you're not fast enough to destroy the mothership? Well, simply put, if you let that timer hit 0, then things don't end well for Bill and his crew. If your timer runs out and that hits 0, then the mothership will fire its laser.
There's not much time left. Hurry! Hurry up and take out that core. Fuck! Get out of here now!
All aircraft break away. Dang!
Go get you down, Fox.
Yeah, it's really tragic if you let the mothership's timer hit 0. It destroys not just the base, but it also kills Bill and his crew. It's really sad. But before we continue on the medium path, I actually want to make a detour here in Sector X. So, back here at the checkpoint, remember when we were going through this level on the easy path, we got to a point where there was a fork in the road, and we could have went either to the left or the right. Now, I went right in this level simply because going that way gave me more points. But the left path is also very important because going left here will actually take us to the second and final warp gate of the game. So we want to go this way, but in particular, I'm entering Sector X after going through Katina. So coming here from Katina actually makes this warp a lot easier to get. And the reason being is because we have an old friend join us.
I'm gonna open the gate. Back me up. Bill, you're okay. Of course, I'm here to help.
So Bill's here to help us open the gate, and as he said there, he's okay. So that laser from the mothership doesn't end up killing Bill and his crew. They luckily evade it just in time, but it was very, very close. So if you don't come to Sector X, you might think that Bill just dies. Luckily, that is not the case. He comes here to Sector X in the easy path and helps you get the warp gates open. So we want to go ahead with Bill's help, shoot down all of these gates, fly through them all, and doing so will take us to the second and final warp zone of the game. This warp zone, unlike the one from Meteo, is kind of difficult to go through because there are a lot of flying pillars, as you can see here. And the problem here with this warp gate is that it's very easy for you to get clipped by one of these little pillars and then just destroy your wings. So you have to be very careful flying around here. There is a good amount of stuff here to shoot, so this can help you to also get the metal here in Sector X, but there's not nearly as much you can shoot here compared to the warp gate in Meteo, so this warp gate doesn't give you a free metal compared to the warp in Meteo. But there's still enough here to really help you with the metal. So remember that the metal here from Sector X is 150 points. And by the time we're done here in the warp gate, we'll easily be able to get the metal. Because we did enter here with enough points to really help out. So that's the thing. You need to be entering this gate with close to 100 points just to make things safe. A lot of enemies around me here, so we'll go ahead and use a smart bomb just to kill them. And we need to be very careful with this little spinning set of platforms. Very, very easy for you to get blindsided by one of these little pillars and then just get whacked in the wing. Because it's very trippy looking, if you want to be honest. So if you're not paying attention to where things are moving, you can just get clipped by the side because of depth perception just failing you. And this final section here with the spinning squares, also kind of annoying to fly through because it's very easy for it to just flip down when the camera is obscuring the square itself. And then the square can whack you in the wings, possibly destroying them. So this warp gate is much harder to go through compared to the warp in Meteo, but there's a reason for it. Taking this warp from Sector X will take you all the way over to Sector Z in the hard path. So it's a hard warp zone to get to a hard level, so it makes a lot of sense. But with that said, I'm going to go ahead and end the episode here. Next time on Let's Play Star Fox 64, we'll continue on the medium pathway with Solar. I'll see you guys next time.